Dearly beloved, we are assembled here in the presence of God to join this man and this woman in holy marriage, which is instituted by God, regulated by his commandments, blessed by our Lord Jesus Christ, and to be held in honor among all men.
To be held in honor among all men. From the world of men and women, this one man, this one woman choose each other to honor, love, and cherish, in sickness as in health, until death do us part. What is in the heart and mind of this girl as she pledges her thoughts, her body, her life to this man? Respect and admiration, love and affection, deep faith, and a high hope for a good life together as man and wife, and if so blessed in time to come, as mother and father. What is in the heart and mind of this man as he pledges his trust, his body, his sacred honor to this woman? The answer lies in you, for the man is you. You who once stood in this holy place and took part in this sacrament, and you who will someday stand before God with the woman you love, as this man stands today. Your answer may be freely given, for you may come to this woman as she comes to you, clean in body and spirit, as you enter on a new way of life in which the best is yet to be. Or you may have no answer that can bear the light of day, for in your conscience may be hidden closets where dead things are stored. Violations of the vows you took today. This man then is you, and his answer is your answer, freely given or hidden in secret places. So God created man in his own image, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. One man, one woman, sanctified in the sight of God and in the presence of their fellow men by sacred writ and ring, as man and wife, given only to each other forever and evermore. This is the law of God. This is the way of life for the children of God on earth. Reduced to the simplest terms and applied to us as individuals, the standard for personal conduct can be summed up in the question, how honest are you? You won't cheat at cards. It's a matter of fair play and a sense of decency. So win or lose, it's on the up and up. You're not a thief at heart, and you hold no truck with anyone that is. But what about sex? You men who are married, and you men who hope to be married someday, how honest are you when it comes to sexual indulgence? In terms of the moral responsibility to the decent women in your life, just how faithful are you? In the long ago, when man and woman were new on earth, and earth itself was young, possession was permission. Sex was the animal expression of primal instinct. Historians of human life doubt, and some deny, that earliest man expressed such emotions as love and affection for the mother of his children. But man had in him the spark of divinity. He grew in wisdom, and he became master of the earth. He discovered in himself new evidence of character. Here man began to express the human values we call kindliness, friendship, and tenderness. The relationship between husband and wife, parents and children, has developed through the centuries into a natural expression of mutual trust and affection. The modern man living in honor and intimately sharing in family love brings permanent happiness to his marriage and family life. Instead of the loose talk about women and sex you usually get in bull sessions, let's have the real lowdown. What are the facts about women and sex, especially the business of illicit sex? For the most part, that's what it is, a business, highly organized and highly profitable to those who run it, not the girls themselves. They usually wind up with the least in terms of money and the most in terms of degradation and disease. Where does the money go of those men who patronize prostitutes? To the madams who manage the houses. Their cut is at least half of anything paid to the girl. To gangsters and underworld big shots who own the business. The vice syndicates whose take runs into millions every year. To crooked police and politicians who sell protection. This is the financial pattern of prostitution. Money that supports a dirty business run by the scum of the earth, debasing women and men who use them, spreading disease and supporting political corruption. One of the chief arguments used to justify sexual indulgence outside of marriage is that it's necessary in order to stay healthy and retain sexual power. More nonsense has probably been spoken on that phase of sex than on any other. The medical officer can give us the correct information.
Take his temperature.
Yes, sir.
I'll be with you in just a minute, boys. Often you have heard it said that unless the sex urge is satisfied when it develops, some emotional or even physical harm will develop. No responsible physician would subscribe to such a statement. Many men are told that they must have sexual intercourse in their late teens, or have it frequently once they have started, in order to avoid harm or even loss of their virility or sexual power. This is absolutely not true. If you want to justify sexual activity outside of wedlock, you're going to have to find something outside of medical grounds. Abstinence from sexual intercourse has no adverse effect on a man's health or his future sexual ability.
The man who limits his sexual experiences to loose women tends to develop sexual habits and a frame of mind on a low animal level. Such a man comes to value a woman not for her qualities as a fine companion, a wife, or a mother of his children, but only for her body. He's the cynic, the wise guy who knows everything there is to know about women. The best phone numbers, the best places, where you can get it cheap and maybe free, what to say, what to do. He'll tell you all about it, whether you're interested or not. If you have other things to do, he'll give you a snarl of disgust. With animal insistence on fixing them up, he'll take all followers as part of the pack, leading them on the hunt for his kind of game. He has all women pegged as tramps and pushovers. This is the loudmouth lady killer and sexual athlete who laughs at such things as decent manners, kindness, love, and affection. Whether he admits it or not, he's a poor sucker, trapped by his own sense of false values. Looking only for sexual bargains, his choice is limited to cheap women. The man who repeatedly uses a professional prostitute or a sexually promiscuous amateur, that man can permanently damage his ability to enter into the love relationship which makes possible a happy marriage and a successful family life. ladies' man of America. That's the man in uniform, according to an outdated legend still believed by some men in the service. The girl in every port kind of romantic nonsense that gives many a serviceman delusions of grandeur about himself and his irresistible charm. He thinks he has a reputation to uphold as a He-Man member of the armed forces of the USA. And so every chance he gets, he's out to make a conquest. He likes it when they're hard to get. It gives him the chance to show his power. Makes him think he really has something this time. No professionals for this guy. His women are for free, except maybe for a few drinks and food and a cab fare home. Oh, he's the big moment in her life. And she's his, only his, says he. This man is kidding himself, and he needs to wise up to the facts of life. With easy pickup, one guy is pretty much like another. There's usually been someone ahead of him enjoying the big moment he thought was only for him. This man raided with a pickup only while he was taking his turn. But there'll be someone else to fill his place after he's gone. This is sex on the prowl. The intimate privacy of husband and wife at the end of the day. The unspoken expressions of deep affection shared in the quiet confidence of mutual love. She belongs to him, only him, and he knows it. He belongs to her, only her, and she's sure of it. On this high human level, a man's sexual relations are associated with respect and tenderness, a real concern for his partner, and other sentiments that any man has deep in his heart for the woman he loves.
How you men manage your sex life is a matter not only for the chaplain and the doctor. It is also my responsibility as a commanding officer. For those of you who consider it a serviceman's right to cut loose on leave, here's a statement from one of our outstanding military figures with which I fully agree. I do not excuse sexual promiscuity, nor do I consider it a necessary evil associated with military life. I consider the greatest factor opposing promiscuity to be proper religious and moral training, with constant emphasis on self-restraint, with marriage and family as a goal. I expect such training to be encouraged in every practical way.
Is it always a strong sexual urge that drives a man to houses, bars, and the streets in search of an easy woman? In many cases, the answer is no. Very often, sexual desire has nothing to do with it. Sometimes it's just plain curiosity. He wanted to see what it was all about, to find out if it was anything like they said it was. For him, it was sordid rather than exciting, embarrassing rather than satisfying, leaving him with a disgust, not only for the woman, but for himself. The crawling feeling which a decent man gets from the use of commercial sex. Actually, he didn't want any part of it. but he lacked the moral courage to live up to his own principles and convictions.
Some things that men do are harmless pastimes, and as such, they're a man's own private business. But sexual relations never belong to this class. They always affect another. They involve sacred human personality and a basic loyalty. That is one of the reasons why illicit sexual practices are condemned by a direct commandment of God. Thou shalt not commit adultery. But God never makes a demand upon us that he does not give us the power to meet. Those who obey the commandment can continue to receive God's strength and guidance to continue in obedience. Those who have violated the commandment can receive forgiveness for the violation and then return to obedience. Such forgiveness depends upon a sincere desire to be forgiven and the intent and effort to avoid further violation. By wanting it, each man can have the honor and determination to safeguard and further family life. By his standard of conduct, each man can show the love and will to please his Creator and abide by divine law.
No one says it's easy for a vigorous, healthy man to practice control and restraint in matters of sex. But such self-discipline is possible for anyone who accepts it as necessary and worthwhile. Each man avoids many things that he's tempted to do just because they aren't worth the price of doing them. It's an aid to self-control to keep a strong sense of contact and association with the folks at home, and especially the women who mean most to you. Your wife or your mother, a girl from school or your hometown. When too broke or too far away to phone or visit, the mail still goes through, binding relationships, exchanging intimate thoughts, sharing plans. Attendance at religious services and the private worship of God enables a man to strengthen his standard of conduct by the faith of his choice. Practice the acceptable adult relationships, the mixed company with its social satisfaction for both men and women. Partners at a dance or party, an evening doing the town or seeing a movie. Double dates to share a car with a stop for food to finish the evening. Ways of enjoying the pleasure of the opposite sex, which will stand the light of day. Home will be a finer, happier place to come back to. Tense and excited waiting will bring the welcome you want. You'll be able to greet her with a clean heart and hold her with a clean embrace. Family and friends will be more wonderful to see again. No questions to be feared, nor eyes to be avoided, and no subjects which mustn't be touched. You'll be coming back without hidden closets in your conscience, proud of the service you're part of, and with good, clean memories of your hitch in it. One man, one woman, who share their love only with each other, not willing to do anything to spoil that love. This kind of love, given in a happy marriage, is the most satisfying expression of man's sex life. Sanctified in the sight of God and in the presence of their fellow men by sacred writ and ring as man and wife. Given only to each other forever and evermore. This is the law of God. This is the way of life for the children of God on earth, and to be held in honor by all men.